All right, homework. I noticed quite a few minor mistakes some of us making, some dealing with reread, double checking, things of that nature. Today is Thursday, so that means we need to try to work on that before tomorrow hits. Somebody read number 1 to it. What's important? Huh? 7 feet of snow? What else? 27 and a half hours? What else? Now, when we start writing questions, I told us I always look with it. Yesterday, I said I always look at the end of the problem. So if you're not doing that, make sure we are looking at the end. Now, the end of that problem, what did it tell us we're looking for? How much? Or what? Inches per hour. So that means we're going to be dividing the inches by the hours. How many inches you got? Should I tell me? How you know 84? So that means we had to do some conversion. Most of us didn't do that conversion. We need to know that there are 12 inches in 1 foot. So if we got 7 feet, that would have been 7 times 12 to get us 84 inches. So that would have been 84 inches being divided by what? 27 and a half. We got hours. We change to a fraction or leave it at a delta. What do I do? Change to a delta? So what's 27 and a half as a delta? All right, divide it out. Anybody? Keep going for some more numbers. So the 5 4s repeat. So notice our answers were what? Fraction. So that means we need to keep that as a fraction. But based on that, we know it's C or D. A and B, they gone. Leave it as a fraction. What's 27 and a half as a fraction? How much? 27 times 2 plus 1. So that would have been 55 over 2. 84 is the whole number, stick it on 1. Change that division to. And then 55 over half go to. 84 times 2. 168 over 55 divided out and give you 3. Multiply 3 times 55. How much? Oh, 3 times 55. Subtract that from 168, that numerator. So 3 and 3 55. See what's spread down. A lot of us gave me D. A lot of us divided 27 and a half by 7. So make sure we read the end to make sure we set it up correctly. If I do not set it up correctly, I'm gonna get it wrong with it. Yeah. Definitely make sure we read the end of that question to set it up correctly. Your answers in fractions and then your decimal will be something like that. That does not mean, let me go back and change it to a fraction so that I can clearly see what the answer is gonna be. Questions about it? You sure? Got what you need? Any questions about it? You sure? A grocery store sells different types of trail mix as shown in the table below. Which statement is correct? Looking at the answer short, they talking about Best Buy. What do we know about Best Buy? Or what do we have to do to find the Best Buy? Divide, what do we divide for Best Buy? Good job. Cost divided by quantity. Now looking at these quantities, are they in the same unit? That means we can't do nothing to them until we put them in the same unit. 3/4 would be how many ounces? That ain't in ounces, that's over decimal. So if it's 16 total ounces, that'll be the denominator. 4 times what is 16? 3 times 4. So that means 3/4 pounds will be 12 ounces. How many ounces are 1 pound? So now we have the same ounces we can compare. 12 minus 8. What are we dividing? 6 divided by 12. What would that get us? No. 12 divided by 6 is 2. Good job. 12 mix B. What are we dividing? Divided by 16. We changed them all to ounces. Remember, we got to divide by the same. And some of you did that yesterday. You divided them two by pounds, but the other one by ounces, and you try to compare. So it has to be in the same ounce. What? 25? C, what are we dividing? Good job. 2.25 divided by 4 ounces. What would that give us? 5625. Best Buy. Price that's the cheapest or the price that's the lowest? I mean the highest. Cheapest, which one is cheaper? Good job. They go back to what I said yesterday. You can fill in missing places with all of them and then check and see. That will be the lowest. A is be the correct answer. Make sure you check your work. I don't look at answer choice. I'm looking for your work. Your work gives me a clear detail if you understand what's going on or if you're not. And most of this was homework last night was conversion problem. We did not convert. So definitely make sure we reread and convert before we start trying to tackle something. Questions about it? Got what you need? Two friends worked out on treadmills at the gym. We got Alden, we got Kira. They want to know who walked at a faster rate, and then it has explained. Most of you are not doing that piece at the end that says explain it. That means go and put some words to it. But let's have a look at it. Are we in the same unit? No. So once again, can we start before we get them in the same unit? No. Who left them as minutes? Everybody convert to hours? Yes, no, maybe? All right, we'll look at minutes first. Nobody want to talk. We'll go. 3/4 hour. How many minutes? How many minutes in a whole hour? So 60 will be the denominator. 4 times what is 60? No, check that. All right, so then multiply that by 3. So 3/4 hours will be 45 minutes. We'll go ahead and change this to hours as well. 30 minutes is how much of an hour? A half. So if you change that to an hour, that would have worked as well. So we'll look at the minutes first. So Alden, what will we divide? Divided by 45 minutes. What would that give you? No, 2 divided by 45? That ain't a whole number. 4, keep going. All right. And what do we divide? What units? To what? Miles. 45 what? So that would be miles per minute. Get in the habit of putting the units that you use. So you could have did it miles per minute or you could have did it miles per hour. So do not forget those units. So since we did hers miles per minute, let's check out Kira miles per minute. What are we dividing? All right, so they changed that to a decimal, which is 1.75, or think of 3/4, 75 cents. So 1.75 being divided by what? 30 minutes? We repeat, and once again, that is miles per minute. For my people who changed to hours, some of you left it as hours. So for Alden, that would have been 2 miles divided by how many hours? 3/4. 2 is the whole number, stick it over 1. Keep the first fraction, change the multiplication. What's the reciprocal? Good job. 2 times 4, 1 times 3, 8/3, simplify 2. I mean, groups of 2, can I get out of 8? I mean, groups of 3, can I get out of 8? 2 times 3, subtract from 8. So 2 and 2/3. Miles per what? Hour. We just did this one for hours. Here, what are we dividing? 1 3/4 divided by what? We doing hours over here. 1/2 of an hour. So that's why I said we had to make sure that they had to be in the same units. 1 3/4 as an improper fraction. Good job. 7/3 being divided by 1/2. Keep the first fraction, change the multiplication. What's the reciprocal? 7 times 2. 3 times 1. How many groups of 3 can I get out of 14? 4. 4 times 3. 12 from 14. 4 and 2/3 miles per what? And then they asked us who went at a faster rate. Who's faster? All right, now we talking about fast. Is that person with the greatest time or the person with the shortest time? Think about running a race. If I beat her, was it because I had the quickest time or because she had the quickest time? Y'all ever been racing? Who win the race? The person who do what? Shortest time. They finish first. So y'all gotta remember that. So if I'm faster, that means I got the shortest time. Who had the shortest time? Alden. Well, then you would say Alden had a faster rate. If you use miles per minute, you then would have said because 0.04 is less than 0.058 miles per minute. Don't forget the unit. If you used on this side, you would have said because 2 2/3 is less than 4 2/3, and this was in miles per what? Hour. Nobody likes to do that explaining part. That involves some words. Questions about it? Yes, no, maybe? All right, you put that up to the side. Pull back out that piece of bell work. Draw your little squiggly line. Tomorrow's Friday. You have a test on tomorrow. So that means today we definitely need to tighten up on those minor mistakes that we are having. Got questions? Ask. Don't sit there knowing you don't know something. Don't do that. You say yourself up there. That ain't hurting the test. That's hurting you. So today we're gonna be practicing and trying problems. Hopefully you trying them out. If you can try them out, that means you may possibly do fairly well on tomorrow. I'm gonna give you about 2 minutes to have a look at this problem, read it, see if you can set it up. Don't forget to ask yourself those questions. Are they in the same units and things of that nature? All right, we got Brandy jogged 2.5 miles in 30 minutes. Shauna jogged 3.5 miles in 3/4 hour. Who jogged at a slower rate? Do we have sign you? Did anybody notice that? 30 minutes? Who all left in this minute? 2? Okay. Then we'll have a look at the hours. So look at that minutes first. 3/4 hours, how many minutes? I think we just said that on the last question. Brandy, what are you dividing? All right, I guess change to a decimal. 2.5 divided by your 30 minutes to get 0.38 or what? Somebody check. 0.83. All right, we said that was in miles per what? Minute. That's why I said, well, I told you. All right, Shauna, what will we divide? 3.5 divided by 45. And it stop. 7 repeat. All right. And once again, that is miles per. That ain't hours. This was in minutes. We converted these to minutes. 30 minutes, 45 minutes. All right. So then it says slower rate. Now, if we're going slower than the other person, will I have the greater sign or the shorter sign? Go back to that rate. If I finish third, I had what? The shortest or the longest? So if I finish slower, that means I got the, yeah, that's the person with the longest sign. So if you compare miles to minutes, who got slower? Randy, 8 is greater than 7. So then that's what you'll say. Randy jogs at a slower rate. Yes. Some of you tried to leave it as hours, but you didn't pay attention to the difference between 30 and 3/4. That's why I keep saying, make sure you pay attention to it. So this one is already in hours. So 30 minutes is how much of an hour? All right, so for Brandy, what are we dividing? You left it as fraction, I'm turning to a decimal. Fraction? 2.5 being divided by 1/2 of an hour. 2.5 as the improper fraction would be 5/2 change to 1/2 change to 2. 5 times 2. 10 divided by 2. To get 5 what? Thank you. You sure that's me? Miles per hour. I see people bumping their gums, bumping their gums. If only 2 people can tell us something, that's mighty wrong. Shauna, what are we dividing? 3.5 being divided by what? 3.5 change to improper fraction as 7.5 change to multiplication. What's the reciprocal? 7 times 4. 2 times 3. How many groups of 6 can we get out of 28? 4 times 6. 24 from 28. 4 and 4 is 6. Miles per what? Good job, miles per hour. So if you use this method, once again, who finished at the floor rate? And what's your comparison? Miles per who had it? That was common mistake I noticed. We didn't make a what? Start with a C. We're not converting. Not converting. We just went to divide. 2.5 divided by 30, 3.5 divided by 3/4. That's what we went to do. So definitely make sure you read and reread and double check to see if we need any conversion. Questions about it? You sure? You don't know? Question? Okay. Give you about 3 minutes to have a look. What you doing? What you buying? You said convert. What you convert? To what? Do we need to convert that? Or they in the same unit? Then you good. We gotta convert that. Okay. What you got for 5 and 4? And then 6.5. If you don't label your stuff, you may want to get in the habit, but you may can keep up with who and who. Even me, as old as I am, I still kind of label just so I can, okay, a mile was here. So what are we dividing for a mile? Good job. It said better buy, so we know the price go in the front. So that's $2.10 being divided by 5.25. 0. What? Anything else with it? You put it off. That's it. Somebody double check. Anytime we have a calculation, we should definitely hear from at least 2. You got the same? Give me 1 second, say 0.4. All right, and that'll be money per what? Good job. Per payment. Just one you sign. All right, Janelle. So then that'll be 325 divided by 6.5. Y'all be mumbling and then the math don't help. All right, so if you had it that way, which one is the better buy? Who? Okay, so we'll say a mod or a man, however you want to pronounce it, is the better buy. They said explain why. Because what? 40 cents is less than 50 cents. We'll take. Sage, talk to me. Okay. 1 second. Hello. Math already. Okay. Absolutely. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I'll check it. You welcome. All right, say what you said you converted it to or changed it to? 21 over 4. Keep going. And it stopped at 1? Okay. What you did for Janelle? Okay. You changed that out? To what? 13 to get? All right, so we still got Ahmad being lower. That'll work. One thing to pay attention to, say, when you changing out them mix to that, don't forget you still gotta put that over. I get you 21. You still need to change to an improper fraction, and then at the bottom stick a 2 under your 3, your 13. But it still work out. Anybody else try something different? Everybody else is pretty much stuck with that one. Sage, you probably the only one who tried that approach. Questions about it? Y'all sure? Okay. All right, we're gonna look at this one together. It says the directions for clean all says to mix 1.5 cups of cleaner with 2 cups of water. The directions for mega clean says mix 3.5 cups of cleaner with 1 gallon of water. Which solution has more cleaner per quart of water? Before we look at anything, look at the end and what did it ask us? Per. But I mean, this is what we're looking at. Cleaner, and they said per quart. So then that's how I said, are both units in quarts? Which one needs to be converted? Gallon. How many quarts is a gallon? So that's why I say read the end, and it'll pretty much kind of let you know what conversion you need to make if you need to make one. All right, so clean off. What will we divide? Divided by? So I want to do with it. Leave it as fraction or change to decimal? Decimal? 1.5 divided by 2. Who said I didn't get there or something? Yeah. Somebody said they didn't get there. Somebody said real low. Maybe not. 0.75 what? 2 units. What came first? Cups. Cups of cleaner per. Yeah. Cups per cup. All right, the next one we looked at was mega clean. What are we dividing? Divided by 4. Okay. So 3.5 as a decimal would be? Okay. So now 3.5 divided by 4. Y'all got 875 as well. And once again, that is cups per quart. All right, so now we can find the answer to the question. Which solution has more cleaner per quart of water? Mega clean? Good. We look at 1 unit behind the decimal. 8 is greater than 7. So then we'll say mega clean because 0.875 is greater than 0.75. So make sure we're able to tell which one and we're able to tell why. Hear that explanation. Don't leave it up to Ms. Sketches to decide what your comparison going to be. Because I see your work, but that don't mean you always compare correctly.
Hey, girls can't go to the bathroom on the hallway working on the bathroom. I don't know if y'all looking at what's happening that or what. Okay. Yeah, so you said they're working on the map of the hallway.
Thank you, ma'am. Questions about it? All right, tonight you have a short activity that's one of those fill in the blanks that we had, as well as 3 questions. You will have a test tomorrow, so I strongly encourage you to try homework. If you can try homework and you are successful, that means you will most likely do well on tomorrow. If you try homework and I'm still stuck, write you a little note and say, hey, let me remind myself to ask Ms. Sketches about this before we take our test.